We all carry around a hidden assumption that other people think like us. If we enjoy a type of music, it feels natural to believe most people enjoy it too. If we hold a political stance, we expect our friends, colleagues, and even strangers to share it. And if they don't, we're surprised, sometimes even frustrated. This quiet bias, this tendency to project our views onto others, has a name: the false consensus effect. It's one of those invisible forces in psychology that shapes our social lives, decisions, and even conflicts without us realizing it. Put simply, it's the belief that our opinions, habits, and preferences are far more common than they actually are. Why does this happen? There are a few reasons, and they're deeply human. First, our own perspective is the most vivid thing we know. We live inside our minds every day, so our thoughts and beliefs feel obvious, natural, even universal. It's a mental shortcut to assume others must think the same way. If I think pineapple on pizza is delicious, surely most people do too, right? But of course, ask around, and you'll find passionate disagreement. Second, our social circles play a huge role. We tend to surround ourselves with people who are similar to us, friends who share our interests, co-workers who share our values, online communities that reflect our opinions. This creates what psychologists call an echo chamber. Within that chamber, our beliefs feel reinforced and validated. If everyone around us agrees, it's easy to believe that agreement extends far beyond our circle. This effect isn't limited to trivial matters like food or hobbies. It reaches into politics, culture, and morality. A voter might be convinced their preferred candidate is the clear favorite, only to be shocked when election results tell a different story. A teenager who sees everyone in their friend group experimenting with alcohol might assume every teenager drinks, when in fact many don't. Even in workplaces, an employee might assume their colleagues all share the same opinion about a new policy, when in reality the group is quietly divided. So why does the false consensus effect matter? Because it can distort how we interact with others. If we assume people already agree with us, we might avoid important conversations. We may overlook disagreement, or worse, dismiss it as abnormal or unreasonable. This can breed misunderstanding and conflict. When someone challenges our view, it feels less like an alternative perspective and more like a shocking violation of what we thought was a shared reality. There's also a personal cost. Believing that everyone thinks like me can trap us in a narrow mindset. It makes us less curious about the world, less open to learning, and less tolerant of diversity. At its extreme, it can fuel polarization because each group believes their worldview is the majority, when in fact reality is far more complex. But here's the hopeful side: awareness changes everything. Once we know the false consensus effect exists, we can start questioning our assumptions. Instead of assuming agreement, we can pause and ask. We can listen actively, seek out voices beyond our circle, and remember that human perspectives are shaped by culture, upbringing, personality, and countless unique experiences. Think about the last time you assumed someone would agree with you, only to find out they didn't. Maybe you thought everyone in your office preferred remote work, or everyone in your family enjoyed a certain holiday tradition. That moment of surprise is the false consensus effect being revealed. It's a reminder that our own perspective, while valid, is just one among many. Interestingly, this bias also explains why disagreements can feel so personal. If I believe most people see things the way I do, then someone who doesn't might feel like an outlier, even a threat. But when we understand the bias, we realize disagreement is normal, even healthy. It's not a rejection of us, it's simply a reflection of the diversity of human thought. Psychologists suggest a few ways to counteract this bias. One is to deliberately expand your circle, engage with people who think differently, read perspectives outside your comfort zone, and be curious rather than defensive. Another is to check your assumptions. Instead of saying, "Everyone thinks this," try asking, "I wonder how others see this." That small shift opens the door to richer, more honest communication. At the end of the day, the false consensus effect is a natural product of how our minds work. It's not a flaw to feel this way, it's simply a shortcut our brains take to make sense of the social world. But like many shortcuts, it can lead us astray. Recognizing it gives us the power to step back, to resist the illusion of consensus, and to embrace the variety of perspectives that actually surround us. Because here's the truth: the world is far more diverse than our assumptions allow. And sometimes, the most eye-opening insights come not from hearing our own views echoed back to us, but from realizing just how different and valuable someone else's view can be.